Welcome back, you guys.
To episode 3.
You're not talking to the mic.
Oh. Welcome back to episode 3
of Spiritual Love Podcast.
Thanks.
We are back.
Mm-hmm.
It may have or may not have been in the last 10 seconds, but that is irrelevant. So yeah. Well, we always started off with a conversation.
We did do like a costume change.
Yeah,
Costumes.
but I'm saying like starting it off with a conversation and then saying welcome back.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It snowed.
It did snow today. Not a lot, but enough to irritate you.
Yeah. Because I don't
And
like
it's
cold
freezing.
weather.
Yeah, like, so this is our first
I'm
New
sick.
Jersey weather. So it's been super weird, like, being out here while it's been super cold. Because it's been, like, in the 20s, 20 to 30 degree weather.
Mm-hmm.
And that's too cold. That's too
It's
cold.
not
Apparently
too
it
cold.
can get colder. And we're not prepared for that. But it decided to snow last night for whatever reason.
It was only like an inch, but still, it's
Yeah.
an inch too much.
Yeah, because I saw people cleaning up their cars earlier, and I'm like, dang, I forgot you gotta do that in the snow. Yeah. And we probably want to do it before it turns into ice. Because it's
Yeah.
going to be hard to get off. Especially my car, my other car.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah, I don't like snow.
no one likes snow. I feel like some people like snow. The guy I watch on YouTube likes snow.
Well, he lives in snow.
Yeah, true.
I don't think you can get away from it.
That's true. If you hear growling or any type of barking, excuse our puppy. He's ignorant.
He's being impatient.
Yes. We have them locked away right now
Yeah,
because
he'll run and jump up on you
Yeah.
and knock stuff over.
and knock stuff over, and we got too many wires and stuff out right now. So, yeah. Our other girl she's a good girl.
All she does is lay around and sleep.
Yeah. But anyway, welcome back, you guys. This is what episode?
3.
We're on episode 3.
Season 1, episode 3.
Yeah. It's crazy. We're already here. Wow. 3 episodes down.
I know, right?
Makes you feel good
It's a
about that.
milestone.
Yeah. Yeah, sure. I feel like 50 would be like a milestone.
True.
Maybe like 25. Halfway milestone. How many episodes do we plan on having in season 1?
I have no idea.
And is it going to be like season 1, 25 episodes, and then we stop for months and then start back up in the first season? Or are we going to like, you know what I mean?
We just keep going.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Because it was going to be weird to like just
That's
stop.
our podcast. Now that we got a studio, it's like...
Yeah. That's true. But anyway, welcome back to Spiritual Love Podcast.
Yep.
Woo! I just had coffee, sorry. Coffee makes me gassy. Anyway,
We had the coffee conversation last episode.
yeah, we don't need to have another coffee conversation, okay? Anyway, so we are here today because we want to talk about basically things that we don't have to face anymore, thank God, but things that people are currently facing. Looking for your significant other in this ratchet season. Like, not even season, but just era of life. I feel like it's so ratchet out there, and like, granted, we've only been together like a year and some change,
Mm-hmm.
so we were out there experiencing the ratchetness, but ultimately God brought us together, so we're happy about that.
So there's a lot of dookie in the dating pool.
Yeah, it is. Dookie?
Mm-hmm.
That was the only word you could think of?
I mean, there's other words out there I could have used, but it probably wouldn't be appropriate for a... You know what I mean?
No, I agree because, like, what were some things that you experienced when you were single and you were dating and stuff?
Like, you go on a third date and then they tell you they have a kid. I'm like, oh.
Wait, that's happened to you?
Yeah, I didn't know they had a kid until like, not, they don't, I feel like that's something you say on the first date, by the way,
Yeah.
have a child.
That's crazy.
Or
I
like,
feel like I feel like, what were you about to say?
Or like I've never experienced it, but I've heard about people be like, I don't need to change restaurants.
Oh, you talking about that whole Cheesecake Factory thing that was on the
But
internet?
you know people
Yeah,
do
that was
before that
absurd.
video came.
That was absurd because I still go to Cheesecake
I
Factory.
eat Taco Bell.
He could take me to Cheesecake Factory, and we love Cheesecake Factory.
They
Okay.
got the good brown bread.
Yeah, right. He loved his brown
In
ladies.
Texas. Look, in Texas Roadhouse got good butter.
Yeah. No, I don't like their butter. The cinnamon butter. Yeah, I don't like that. I don't know why everybody likes
That's
that.
insane.
Yeah. No.
That's
But
insane.
that was actually where our first date was.
Comment and tell her she's insane for not liking Texas Roadhouse brown.
Oh
cinnamon
my
butter.
goodness. Anyway, but yeah, it's a lot of different things. I think for me, it was like guys never knew what they wanted. You know, it was like they promised the things that a girl would want, like relationship and a future together and stuff like that. But really, they had only intentions of hooking up or just to have somebody to lay with at night.
That's because they figure women will probably say no if they say it outright.
That's true, but that's.
If that's the life you want to live, I mean, you got free will. You can. I wouldn't recommend living a life like that, but there's people out there. If you just tell them what you want up front, I'm sure there's people out there that would
give it to you. Yeah. But there's
you
probably a rare few.
manipulate.
Or even not only that, it's some people out here who just doesn't want a guy who wants them because they are so open.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think
it's always like you'll judge a girl for doing stuff, but then want to lie and manipulate to get the very thing that you judge her for. It don't make sense.
Yeah. But
I don't know.
We're here today to talk about basically just how hard it is to be a Christian and dating in modern day society. Because it's really trash out there. Like, I feel bad for all my single folks out there. Keep holding on. But no, yeah, what are some things that you experienced in the dating world besides like what you were just talking about? I mean, like getting into a relationship with someone and then as a Christian man, like realizing this ain't for me,
Well, there's this whole thing nowadays where people are into like zodiac signs and rubbing dinosaur crystals together, thinking it's gonna make you rich or something. So I ran into a lot of that. And even before I was a Christian, that never appealed to me. And I always thought people were into it. I was just like, the people who are lightly into it, I kind of give a pass to. But there were some people that were just like way, way too into it, to where like, if your zodiac sign doesn't align with theirs, they won't even talk to you. Like,
yes, I've experienced that actually. I used to be that person. I used to be that person, like when I was in high school and stuff, and I would look up everybody's zodiac sign. Not that I wouldn't talk to you, but it was more so like I would see our compatibility. But I stopped doing that like a long, long time ago.
Yeah, that's.
I didn't do it with you at all.
Stuff, yeah, no. But that stuff kind of like made me run the other direction, even before I was a Christian.
Yeah.
Even though I did date a girl that was into it, but I didn't really,
Can you hear that?
A little bit. But anyway. But yeah, like, I give a pass to it. It's like, if that's what you believe.
Right. Yeah, I think for me, it was like dating guys who, like, I would be reading my Bible or I would want to go to church and stuff like that. And they would just be like, no. Like, I had one guy where I was dating and, like, we would be in his car. We would be in my car. And literally I would play Christian music. And he would be like, oh, can you turn it off? I'm like, why? Why is my Christian music?
I'm kidding.
No, but I was like, why does my Christian music bother you? And he was like, I just don't he was like, he just doesn't like Christian music. And I'm like, okay, that sounds like a personal preference. Like, at the end of the day, if I want to listen to it in my vehicle, like, I should be able to. But not only that, like, me reading my Bible and taking the time, he would just, like, make it seem as if I was taking time away from him when I would do stuff like that. And then it wasn't until I got to the end of the relationship where I kind of just wanted to dump him. and he saw that I was really into those things, and then that's when he tried to start getting into it. I'm like, are you getting into it because you know that I don't want to be with you? No, at that point, I think we had broke up. I'm like, are you getting into it because you know I don't want to be with you anymore? Or are you getting into it because you actually want to be into it? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, then it was like the battle of like, now that I felt like was demonish. Because it was like, you know what I mean? Like, it was a little crazy because like, why would you mimic or pretend that you want to be, you know, of the religion that I'm in, but you know what I mean? Yeah.
Seems very manipulative.
It was real. It was real weird. It was real weird. But not only that, like I've dated a couple of guys who just didn't believe in God at all, didn't want to talk about God. So that's why I knew when the next relationship I got into, I literally was single for like a year.
Yeah.
And some change.
Yeah, because society, I don't think is really too friendly for single Christian people, because like society will tell you to go out there and date multiple people at the same time, you should be promiscuous, things like that. And I'm gonna go lie, like I tried, you know, talking to multiple women at the same time.
It's a headache, yeah.
Oh yeah, it's a headache. I'll forget this one's name, call this girl the wrong name, I didn't text this one back, she got mad about it. I was just like, this is too much.
I don't even think that's just a man thing. I think society kind of made it like a woman thing now too, because the dynamic of men was like they were the apex predators and they were kind of just going at women. And then now society makes it seem as if the women are the ones who are like the apex predators.
Oh yeah, you gotta chase a man.
Yeah, well, not chasing a man, more so like they are acting as if like how men did back in the day, you know what I mean? Like how they would just have like a bunch of girls and stuff like that. And now it's a lot of women who got a bunch of dudes, and the dudes are kind of like, what the heck? You know what I mean? So it's like roles have kind of reversed or whatever.
Yeah, and I don't think most men don't like that.
Yeah, it's crazy really though, because they'll do it themselves, but they don't like it happening to them. But my point is like, well, I forgot.
No, it's like the roles are reversed a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think, I don't know, I just thought that was weird. Like, even didn't you date a guy that was like, why didn't you buy him flowers on his birthday or something?
Yes, it's the same guy I was talking about with the Bible thing. Like he was, and then he even said something like, I want a girl to propose to me. I'm just like, what?
Yeah, that's all weird to me. That's all.
I was like, you think I waited my whole life to be proposed to go and propose to a man? Like, no. Now, if that's your forte, I'm not judging you. What you want to do. Right, if that's what you want to do and y'all want in y'all relationship, that's just not something I'm going to do. Right. So, yeah, but no, the dating scene is just crazy. But not only just like people that you have dated, but also like the things that you see in society, such as like, you know, rappers and stuff, like what female rappers talking about having sex and not really caring about how a man treats you and get him for all his money type vibes, you know what I mean? And it's just like, when you put that mindset out into the world, now you got all these men thinking, oh, all these women out here just coming at me for, you know, my money or whatever. And there may be some women who really are, but then it's like for the people who are good out there, it kind of sabotages them too. Because now they can't even... You know what I mean?
Yeah, because then it turns into like a woman wanting a man to pay for the first date. Man's like, oh, you just using me for my money. When it's like usually, well, I've always been the one to be like, whoever asks who on the date, they're paying.
Ain't no way.
Like, if I asked you on a date, so I paid. But if you had asked me, hey, I want to take you out, I'd be like, oh, I would just assume you was paying for me then.
Would you?
If you asked me on a date...
Babe, there's been many times that I've asked you on a date now.
No. I mean like early on. Like if we were just talking, I asked you on our first date. If I'm the one engaging this, and I was like, I want to take you on a date.
But even that I don't believe is true. Because there have been times where I have asked you, let's go somewhere, and you still paid.
Yeah, but that's because we're in a relationship now. It's different. I'm talking about...
No, I'm talking about in the beginning too. There have been times that we've gone out in the beginning of our relationship and you still paid and I said, let's go here.
Yeah, but I was the one that wanted to go out with you.
What?
Like, I was the one that was like initiating everything. Like, I wanted to go out, I'm going to take you out, I'm going to take you here, and I will pay for it. Okay. But just like if you were, like, we were just talking, texting on the phone, and you were like, hey, I want to go out to Texas Roadhouse with you, I would just assume you was paying because you asked me on a date.
Okay.
I was like, oh.
I get what you're saying. But let's get back on topic.
Okay.
What? Anyway, so what were we talking about? Modern day society and things that we face in the dating world. What are some things that you face, maybe not with a woman, but just in society? No. Why'd you look? Yeah, I'm gonna zoom in on his face, bro. Why did you look like that?
It's like experience in dating. It's like, what are stuff you've experienced with dating, not just with a woman? I'm like, what? Like, what? I only date women. Like, what?
I'm weak. I didn't mean it like that.
Like,
I'm talking about in modern day society, not with the women that you've dated, but like
in general?
Yes, outside influences.
Oh, yeah. Like society, what they want you to do.
Huh?
Like, what does society want people to do?
What are some things that you faced in society? Yes.
Oh, yeah. Like I think I've said it before, but they want you to date multiple people at once.
Any other things?
Now this whole thing with like, I think men and women like switching roles, where the men want to be chased like a woman used to, and women.
Well, what are some things that you think is hard for Christians nowadays that they have to face? I would say like trying to find people who are within your faith. Yeah. Because me trying to find, like, literally I was on Facebook dating, Bumble, I was on all the dating apps. And almost every single person that I talked to were literally like, I'm Muslim or any other religion than the religion I was looking for. And literally in my bio I specified I only want to date Christian men. And so many people had issues with that. Like, people would still swipe right on me and still try to talk to me. And I'm like, are you Christian? And they're like, oh, no.
Yeah, because I think a lot of people say they're Christian.
And that's just a personal preference, FYI. I just want to put that out there because I know that there are very much relationships out here where there are Christian and Muslim people dating Christian and Jewish people. It don't matter. I'm just saying my personal preference was a Christian man. I just needed to get that out there.
Anyway, but yeah, like I think a lot of people will say they're Christian, but that's it. Like they just like
there's no relationship or anything like that.
But like some people, they'll see that, but like think you fine anyway. Try to sign you to and just be like, oh, I'm Christian too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I had a lot of that happen. And then when I would be like, oh, do you go to church or what do you do? You know, you read your devotional or what are some things that you do to get closer to God? And they're like, oh, I don't do anything. I'm just Christian. Okay. Right. You know, and it's, well, I personally don't want that. I want somebody who because my whole biggest thing when I was dating was I wanted to find a man who, even if you weren't fully into Christianity, because I actually swiped right on a guy who was really, really into it, and then he started spitting all these like biblical facts at me, like a woman is supposed to do this and this is how a woman should carry herself, like, and I was like borderline offended because he was like basically saying like a woman should stay in her place, and I'm just like, okay. Oh, yeah. No, I didn't like that. So I didn't really care what level you were in relationship with God. It was more so that you cared to have a relationship with God, you know? So when I had met you, it was like you were still in that learning phase and you were still seeking. But I didn't mind that because you were actively trying. And then when I invited you to your church, you were completely fine with it. But, you know, there are a lot of people out here who literally could care less about any of that. That's why it's like really hard dating now in today's society, because it's like you have these preferences or, you know, morals that you want to, you know, stay with, and it's like a lot of these people out here, they have their own personal agenda. So then it's like you got to kind of be careful because the enemy comes like a thief in the night, and he could be using these people trying to, you know, manipulate or get at you in some type of way. And it's really scary because it's just like, as a Christian, it's like you don't know really what way to go. And that's why I was praying, like, literally for a year. I was like, God, please bring my husband. I was praying over. I was like, God, I pray my husband is safe. I pray, I may not know him, but I pray that, you bless him with everything that he needs. Like, I was literally always praying over my husband. And I was like, God, can you please bring this person into my life? And then, boom, you're like, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I think, I had an idea in my head and I lost it.
I'm sorry, can I let you lose your idea?
Yeah, you did. You so fun. I lost it all.
Oh.
My thought just left.
It just over.
Yeah. Anyway. But yeah, I think, oh yeah, that's what it was. I think it's also hard because most people generally know if you're Christian, most people, well, there's a lot of people that are, they say they are, but they're really not. I think a lot of people will settle, or they'll be like, well, I believe in this, but I'm probably not going to find somebody, so let me just settle for this, or let me...
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For sure. Because I feel like so many people are eager to find love,
yeah,
they're just willing to be like, "What I'll accept whatever behavior." And that's actually how I was before too, where I kind of just didn't want to be alone, And I hated being single because it was so lonely, and it was just literally me and Mila, and I just wanted somebody next to me. And it wasn't until I realized, like, God is here, God is next to you. God is with you every step of the way that you go throughout life. You feel me? And it wasn't until I realized that, where I was like, I don't need anybody. Like, I'm content. If I have to be single for the rest of my life, I'm content with it. But I still prayed and was like, God, please. Like, you know what I mean? But I think that God, what God does is, like, He, at least for me, He took me through this journey of all of these terrible men. And ultimately, it helped me to realize what I wanted for myself, what I needed for myself, and the things that I absolutely, positively could not accept, And it helped me to basically build like a, what is the word I'm looking for? Like, kind of like, it helped me build morals and kind of like a ground where... If you standards, there you go, thank you. So it helped me to build standards where if you don't meet any of these standards, sorry, but you gotta go. And I actually had a guy who was like, your standards are too high. And I was like, well, if you can't meet my standards, you can go ahead and kick the bucket.
And I think, as far as, like, everybody should have standards, but I think having realistic standards is also...
No, they were very realistic.
No, that's what I'm saying, but like, generally speaking, because I know some people like, oh, you don't meet my standards. Like, what are your standards? But like, you gotta be at least 6'4" and make $200K a year.
No.
Standards.
Yeah.
Like,
no, my standards were, I think the 5 things that were like my biggest things were, you have to be Christian, you have to have like some type of relationship with God. That's all in one. You have to be able to joke and be funny and like, just live in the moment. Smart, somebody who had a good head on their shoulders and capable of, being ambitious and going after stuff. I think 4. Those were my 4 biggest things. And then everything else is like, I can work with it. You know what I mean? And then I just got the whole package, so.
All right, look at that.
Why you keep looking at the camera every time? You're like, yeah, look at this.
But yeah, like, no, I agree, because,
what standards did you have?
A Christian woman that had a good sense of humor and knew how to cook, because I can't cook.
Able to cook was on there?
Yeah, because I
so
can't
if I
cook.
wasn't able
what
to
are we
cook,
gonna eat?
If I wasn't able to,
we gonna eat out every day, eat TV dinners. That's not gonna work.
So if I wasn't able to cook, then what?
You can cook.
Yeah, but if I wasn't able to cook, then what?
We would have learned together on YouTube because, listen, because what would we eat if none of us, like if you didn't cook, what would we be eating? Exactly. We'd be starving to death in here.
No, you'd be cooking your one little meal.
We would have high blood pressure from all the ramen noodles and instant TV dinners. And wasting money eating out every day.
You're stupid. Oh my goodness.
Because I like food and I can't cook. So
those are your 2 standards, a woman of God and can cook.
I'm in a sense of humor.
Oh, and a sense of humor. That was just the 3 things.
I have a sense of humor. I can't tell my jokes on here.
He has a very dark sense of humor. It's very dark. Mm-hmm. Hold on, I need to change my positioning. Okay.
But yeah, like, because if I can't joke with you, then we can't have fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. Because I think I'm a big person. I think we joke around a lot. Mm-hmm. Like, a lot. And I think that's what honestly makes our relationship. We kind of went from talking about modern day society to kind of going into our own relationship.
Yeah, but like with going back to standards and stuff, I think it's important to have standards. Everyone should have them. And if someone doesn't meet your standards, then it's okay to not be with them, no matter what they say. Like, you know, some people, like you said, that guy said your standards are too high. Mm-hmm. Well, maybe that dude just didn't. You know,
and which I didn't think that they were that high because I literally named like 4
If it's basic stuff like that, yeah, but it's like it's also important, like you have realistic standards. Like if somebody was watching this, you have standards, but it's like your standards are like, you need to make X amount of money, be this tall, beard, tattoos, or whatever. Even with the men, it's like
it's kind of like on that like you were talking about earlier, the red balloon thing, where it's like people initially meet somebody. And they didn't even say no 2 words. They just literally said their name. And they're like, pop, 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 pop. It's like, you don't know nothing about this person.
Yeah, I saw one, the guy looked like appearances wise, looked like a stand-up guy. The one lady popped her balloon because she didn't like the way he was dressed.
Yeah, a lot of people do that.
He had glasses and a tucked-in polo shirt.
No, but I've seen a guy do the same thing. He was like,
that too, yeah.
He told the girl, he was like, your one knee is ashy. It's like, but it's just like, how are you judging somebody based off of a look? I feel like if your only basis of I feel like if your only basis of like dating is how a person looks or whatever, I feel like you shouldn't be dating.
Yeah, I think that standards are most men. Well, as a man, we are very visual creatures. So I think if you're basing your entire standards based on how a woman looks, you're not gonna find a wife material woman because like she could be really really attractive but be like not a loyal person. She could be crazy. She could be like camera diet. But here we are.
Okay, yeah, it's recording. I'm like, is it recording?
Yeah, the camera died. So here we are.
Sorry, our battery is only like 20 minutes.
Anyway, what was I saying? I was saying standards. Like, it's important to have realistic standards. Like, as a man, as you know, men were visual creatures. So if you only base, as a man, if you only base your opinion on one based on the way she looks, you could find a complete psychopath. You could find someone only using you for your money. Stuff like that, and then you wonder why you can't find. A good partner. Yeah. And then for women, I think
we're more emotional.
Yeah.
But
I think
looks still matter too.
Yeah, I think looks matter to women, but not as much as men.
Not as much as men.
And women more look for men with resources instead. So I think they base more stuff based on how much a man makes, his status and stuff like that, because they see more security, more providers in that way. I think that's not the only, the only thing you should be looking for. Because then you'll find, like, say he's a doctor or something, makes like $500K a year or whatever, and that's fine. Yeah. But he cheated on you all the time, or he demeans you all the time. Like, is that worth it?
Right.
Like, so you gotta look at everything.
Right.
Like, it's one, not saying that Reese was on a point, like, you date a guy that works at McDonald's and stuff, yeah, that's fine, but he's not gonna be a provide. Not to bash people who work at McDonald's and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But, if you want a family, you want to be able to buy a house, it's not going to cut it. You need to find someone who has at least drive to want to be something better.
Right.
You don't necessarily have everything put together, but actually have a plan. Look, I'm doing this, and you'll be there one day. I think that matters more than, what you have at the moment.
Yeah.
So it's like you're going to have realistic standards. You got to, and then not sacrifice your realistic standards and settle, because then you just won't be happy at that point.
Yeah, I agree.
Because dating's hard nowadays.
Social
media doesn't help either because everyone wants to.
I feel like there are so many outside influences on social media, especially like influencers or rappers or whatever, and they're on there saying like, oh, go after this, go do this. You know, you want a man that does this, and it's just like, then it makes people sacrifice those standards to go after what their favorite influencer is saying, and now they're being manipulated by these people. And like, it was somebody. I can't remember who said it. I think it was B. Simone who said it, but she said it was somebody that she was looking at that said, oh, I got a G-Wagon, like flaunting it and everything. So basically off of her, seeing the other person get a G-Wagon, she went to go get a G-Wagon. And then she saw how expensive it was. It was a gas guzzler, like all of these different things that were like cons for the G-Wagon. And she ended up getting rid of it. And she was just like people just really allow these influencers to influence them to go do stuff.
It's like an extreme version of Keeping Up with the Joneses.
Yeah.
Like, see all these people on social media with like fancy cars, fancy clothes, which probably doesn't even belong to them because it could have been a friend or whoever they hang around. It could be a freaking rental. You know how many luxury car rentals there are out here? You just rent a Lamborghini for the weekend and then flaunt it on social media and people think you actually got it like that.
Yeah.
People do that in relationships too. You think they have a happy relationship and then turns out they hate each other.
And put it on social media and make it seem like this is the standard of what you should go for a relationship. And then behind the McBrooms, you know who McBrooms are?
I heard Austin McBroom. I don't know any details.
So Austin McBroom was he's a social media influencer. He does YouTube and stuff. Him and his girlfriend, Chris, I can't remember what her name is. They started on YouTube and they got married and everything like that. And then they had like this huge house. While later on we found a year later that the house had no electricity. It had no hot water.
Oh, wow.
Literally nothing, but they was making it seem as if they were living this luxury dream. But these contractors that they had actually ended up jacking up everything with the house. And they ended up later on getting a divorce and everything. But it was like they put this picture perfect relationship on YouTube and made it seem like their relationship was good.
Yeah.
And then later on found out they got a divorce and all of that stuff. And it really wasn't all that good. You know, and it's like, why put on a facade and show people, oh, this is what you aspire to be like and this is what you want, but really you're not even happy yourself.
Yeah, because I think it puts out the wrong message too, where people, because they'll see what they thought was a perfect relationship and then it's not, and then people might even think like, wow, I guess being happy really isn't attainable.
Yeah.
If these people didn't make it, like how could I do it? You know?
Yeah.
So
I think realism is so important in today's society.
You gotta be grounded.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, you know, if you base your relationships based on social media, you're really not gonna go anywhere.
Yeah. That's why I like that we don't really like indulge in and stuff like that. Like our relationship is what we make it, you know? And we're not gonna put a facade out for people, you know what I mean? I never wanna get to a point where we do that either, so like, you know.
Yeah, like there's people out there be like, we're only together for the YouTube channel. Like, you know what I mean? It's like those people who like, oh, we're only married for the kids or something. Like you gotta be happy and stuff. Yeah. What?
Nothing. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Anything else you want to add?
I think that was everything.
Okay. What?
That was it, episode 3.
That is episode 3. I look so freaking huge in this freaking couch. Anyway, that was episode... What?
Anyway, that was the episode.
Why'd you look at me like that?
Because you looking at that little screen up there.
Because, like, I had this like this. And it made me look like I was
thinking. You're literally not.
Okay. Anyway.
Hey, you know this couch is small. This couch is tiny.
This couch is so tiny. We need a new couch.
Like
anyway.
Her 7-year-old nephew can't fit on this.
He actually can. He can sleep on this couch.
Not comfortably.
Well, this is where he will be sleeping.
Anyway.
Anyway, so thank you for joining us for episode 3. So yeah,
subscribe.
Subscribe, follow us on Instagram, on our social medias. Everything is in the profile. Mm-hmm. You just have to go to the about section, I believe, and it's just all listed in there. Yep. We have another channel. It's called Two for the Road. See, I didn't remember. It was called 2 for the Road. We got some holiday videos coming out and stuff. Mm-hmm. We already have one posted right now. So make sure you guys go check those videos out as well. And we will see you guys in the next video. By the time the next video will be, it will be 2025. So that's crazy. Mm-hmm. That is real crazy. So actually, this video might be in 2025. What? Yeah. Because the next video that's coming out will be...
No, yeah, you're right. Yeah. That sounds crazy. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Happy New Year.
So Happy New Year. Yeah. Happy New Year. But yeah, we'll see you guys in the next video.
See you next time.